You think too much. You know it. You've known it for years. But here's what nobody actually explains. The problem isn't that you think too much. The problem is why you can't stop. Not just sometimes, not just when something goes wrong, always. And once you understand what's actually happening in your brain, not the surface explanation, but the real one, everything changes. Section 1. The Trap. Most people treat overthinking like a habit, like something you can stop if you just try hard enough. So they tell you to breathe, stay present, journal, and for a day, maybe two, it helps. Then it comes back. Not because you're weak, because you're trying to fix the symptom without understanding the source. Here's the truth. Overthinking isn't really thinking. Thinking solves things. This doesn't. This just loops. You replay the same conversation, re-examine the same decision, run the same what-ifs until you're exhausted. And the problem doesn't get smaller. It gets bigger. So what's actually happening? Section 2. What your brain is doing. There's a part of your brain called the default mode network. It activates when you're not focused on anything external, when you're resting, drifting, lying in bed at night. And here's what most people don't know about it. It doesn't go quiet. It processes. It wanders. And for people who think too much, it doesn't wander forward. It wanders backwards. At the same time, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for self-monitoring and decision-making, is running on overdrive, checking, judging, reviewing. When these two systems run together without interruption, you get a loop. The default mode generates the thought. The prefrontal cortex evaluates it, and instead of resolving, it reruns. This is not a personality trait. This is biology. And it runs loudest in people who are perceptive, self-aware, emotionally intelligent, which means if you've spent your life wondering why your brain won't switch off, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because your brain was built this way. The real question is why it got stuck. Section 3. Where it started. Here's the part most people never look at. Overthinking doesn't start in adulthood. It starts the first time your environment felt unpredictable. The first time you said something and the reaction was wrong. The first time you felt like you had to manage how you came across just to keep things safe. As a child, your brain learned, if I analyze this carefully enough, I can predict what happens next. If I can predict what happens next, I can protect myself. That was a useful skill. It kept you safe. The problem is your brain never got the signal that it was over. So it kept doing what worked, kept watching, kept replaying, kept preparing. And now you're an adult, carrying a threat detection system built for a world you no longer live in. This is why it feels personal. Because it is. But it's not a problem with who you are. It's a pattern that made sense once and hasn't been updated since. Section 4. Why your brain won't let it go. Here's the part that surprises most people. Your brain doesn't just tolerate overthinking. It rewards it. Every time you replay a situation, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine, not because it feels good, but because it feels useful. It believes it's solving something. It believes if I go over this one more time, I'll find the answer. But the answer never comes. Because the problems overthinkers obsess over, social interactions, past decisions, future scenarios, aren't problems with answers. They're open-ended. So your brain keeps pulling the lever, waiting for resolution that never arrives. And the more it pulls, the deeper the groove gets. Until replaying feels automatic. Until quiet feels uncomfortable. Until stopping feels impossible. That's the trap. Not a lack of willpower. A reward system that learned the wrong lesson. Section 5. The shift. So how do you stop it? Not by forcing yourself to think less. You can't override a biological system with willpower, but you can redirect it. 3 shifts, specific ones. Shift 1. Get the thought out of your head. The default mode loops because it has nothing external to anchor to. When a thought starts replaying, don't try to stop it. Move it. Write it down. Say it out loud. Walk while you think it. The moment a thought leaves your internal loop and becomes something physical, your brain processes it differently. It's no longer open. It's discharged. Shift 2. Learn to name the loop. There's a difference between thinking and processing. Thinking moves from A to B. Processing just circles. When you notice you're processing, same thought, same scene, same outcome, name it out loud. This is a loop. That single act activates your prefrontal cortex differently, not to judge, to observe, and observation interrupts the loop. Shift 3. Move your attention outward. Overthinking is always inward. Your brain is watching itself think. The fix isn't quieting your mind, it's redirecting it to the person in front of you, to what's actually happening right now, to something outside your head. This isn't a concept. It's a biological redirect. Where your attention goes, your brain follows. And a brain focused outward cannot loop inward at the same time. You don't need to stop thinking. You need to stop letting the loop run uninterrupted. This is what's actually happening in your brain. Not a personality flaw, not something to be ashamed of. A system built for survival that hasn't been updated for real life. The people who think too much aren't broken. They're perceptive. They're just running an old program. Understanding why it happens is the first step to changing it. Watch this next, because this explains exactly why the loop gets triggered around other people and why your confidence disappears the moment you step into public. Subscribe if your brain won't stop. I explain why.